For all the attention the world bestows on Kim Jong-un, there is alarmingly little we know about his personal life. From private jets to private islands, there's nothing that Kim Jong-un doesn't own or use. Well, as we are feeling up to the challenge of untangling the mystery that is his personal life, and if you are curious as well, stay tuned till the very end of this video, as you will be getting a whole load of cool facts and interesting information that gives us a glimpse into the obscure and mysterious life of Kim Jong-un. Anyhow, if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and subscribe for more great content like this. Let's just say, in this case, size does matter. Hey, hold on, we're talking about palaces. It is of no doubt that a palace at the scale at which our supreme leader would be amused with are likely the epitome of luxury. He owns a whopping 15 of them. Kim owns a massive compound in Wonsan. The palace is described as Hawaii or Ibiza, with the exception that only one person lives there. A website of North Korea details the place as having dinner, boats, yachts. Of course, they are two separate things, complete with a private beach that's kept well combed. In short, it has everything you could possibly want or even dream of. The other 15 palaces are scattered throughout the country, but the palace in Wonsan seems to be his ride or die, as it's the only one with swimming pools, tennis courts, soccer fields, water slides, all plural as in more than one, and a sports stadium all facing East North Korea's beautiful sea of Japan's beaches. And of course, Kim Jong-un doesn't just drive there. What a perfectly normal thing to do that would be. He lands his helicopter in a landing area, or takes a private jet, or boards an underground train, or takes a private highway. Yep, he owns a highway reserved just for him. In short, he is the definition of rich. Who here doesn't like to party, drown in some booze and just dance their way through the night? Sound good to you? Well, it sounds like heaven to us. However, relaxing on a luxury cruise isn't really a novel experience when it comes to billionaires. But Kim Jong-un takes that to the next level. Dubbed the Party Boat, is an 80-centimeter yacht that features twin twisting water slides, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and a multi-story lounge. In a boat, yes. The luxury yacht, named Princess 95MY, is valued at $7 million. The official brochure boasts a wide saloon, expansive wide bridge deck, generous staterooms, and a dining area that can accommodate 10 people, taking the pleasure and experience of a luxury cruise to the next level. Alright, I don't know about you, but we definitely feel that this guy has just outdone himself to a point where he sets some kind of record. What's more, other than the princess, he owns two large super yachts with a mobile swimming pool moored amongst them. The estimated cost of both of the yachts is $10 million each. But we aren't done yet. Apart from these larger yachts, he also owns several smaller luxury yachts, none of which is surprising at this point. As a movie buff, you might agree that there's nothing worse than chattering people right next to you, or people making out behind you, spoiling your experience of being at a cinema. Well, you and I may be familiar with that, but Kim Jong-un isn't. He owns a lavish 1,000-seater private cinema to host screenings of movies to private shows. He acquired a taste for cinema from his father, who was said to be a fan of Hollywood movies. His favorite franchise is James Bond. Like father, like son, we suppose. Alright, hold up. Who here has heard of Air Force One? Well, if you have, you may want to go ahead and subscribe. But who here has heard of Air Force Un? Probably not many. No, we didn't just pull a quick one on you, and we aren't gonna start doing the hokey pokey and say, just kidding. But seriously, we are not making up these words just to play with you. That's an actual name. And yes, Kim's private jet is called Air Force Un, if cheeky was on the nose. Technically, Air Force One is the name of the plane that carries the president of a country, but now it is a standard practice to use the plane name instead of Air Force One. Kim Jong-un certainly doesn't play by the rules. I'm sure by now you are getting the idea that Kim is a very private person, bordering on reclusive. And as such, not many photos of the interior of the plane exist, but the few that do show the plush beige seats and a chestnut-colored desk complete with crystal ashtrays. Many of the details about its departures and arrivals are kept private for fear of tracking, but it's safe to say that when Kim Jong-un travels, he travels in luxury beyond the average Joe's comprehension. Again, pretty much everybody loves great cars, and probably dream of the day they can line their garage with rows of them. Or maybe we would be content with a nice Mercedes we can pull up to parties in. Well, tell you what, owning a Mercedes isn't all that impressive when put it against the fact that he owns a private island. But it becomes significantly much more impressive when you find out that it is fully customized to be bulletproof, shatterproof, impact-proof, and proofed against every force in the world in case anyone makes an attempt on the leader's life. It's also equipped with the latest technology aimed at protecting and safeguarding the life of passengers inside. The car comes equipped with steel, armored floors, just in case it's a Mission Impossible situation, laminated windows, and surprisingly, a rolling restroom. Alright, we don't know about you, but think about it. Really could come in handy. Like, how many times had we really just had to hold it in on a long drive? Well, we do highly doubt that this is the reason for the installation of a rolling restroom. The actual reason being public toilets are a safety hazard, hence, wherever he goes, his toilet follows. And in a true Mission Impossible fashion, Kim Jong-un prefers his private toilet on his car so as to prevent foreign spies from taking samples, which can shed light on his current health conditions, something that has been a topic of global discussion. In another oh my god that's super gross report, the CIA has said to have made multiple attempts at collecting Kim Jong-un's fecal matter, and thus the need for a toilet on a car. Well, grossness aside, we still got to agree that it is a hell of a Mercedes, and at this point, it is of no surprise, but when it comes to the Supreme Leader, there is always something more. Yep, you guessed it, he owns something else too. He also owns an impressive collection of Rolls-Royce, worth $2 million. Well, this is something on the darker side of our Supreme Leader. Although he showers in wealth, it does come with a very dire price. We're familiar with the movie The Purge. A terrible day for cinema, but for people living in North Korea, that's a reality shared by all high-ranking officials, and for anyone that's within the reach of their Supreme Leader. Jang Song-taek, the regent to a young Kim Jong-un after his father's death in 2011, was said to have been purged when Kim came into power in 2013. Mind you, he was only a year out of his schooling and only had held the mantle of power for 2 years when he decided to take a rather drastic route. Jang was a member of Kim Jong-il's inner circle. His death marked an end to all connections and diplomatic relations to Beijing, as Jang had been an advocate for closer ties to China. Although Jang was a well-known and highly public figure that was executed by Kim Jong-un, he was certainly not the last. South Korean intelligence services reported that people who had displeased the regime and defectors from the set route were being executed on a routine basis. However, true mind-bending events happened months later when the people who were said to be killed resurfaced, alive and well. Such instances give us a prime example of how difficult hard facts are to come by when it comes to the workings of North Korea, and with Kim Jong-un at the helm, we can expect the situation to remain the same. This is something that often comes to be due to the unbelievable level of secrecy that the North Korean regime adheres to. For most of us, this seems to be quite unbelievable as it completely contradicts the image we really have of a ruthless dictator, and especially after the previous section. However, this whole image we have of this Supreme Leader is most likely because pretty much every time North Korea has been in the world headlines, it has been because of the threats made, not so politely, about nuclear war with the United States. Whether it was fueled on Twitter or because of their success in testing nuclear missiles, situations were at a tense standstill when the then President, Donald Trump, goaded Kim Jong-un. After a few setbacks, a face-to-face talk happened in June 2018, which marked the historic event when the leaders of the United States and North Korea met for peace talks. The meeting ended with Kim pledging to work toward complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, while President Trump promised to end joint US-South Korea military exercises. On the home front, North Korea was facing tensions with South Korea when Moon Jae-in, a member of the Democratic Party of Korea, was elected as president. In March 2018, Kim hosted members of Moon's administration at a dinner, the first such meeting he had held with senior South Korean officials since taking power in 2011. In April 2018, the two leaders met at a peace village and discussed complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, and this marked an end to the lingering hostilities from the conclusion of the Korean War, and an armistice was agreed upon. Alright, now getting on to the interesting stuff, we've covered his early education and his surprising tendency to seek peace. Now we can get to see the luxury and jaw-dropping lifestyle of the one and only Supreme Leader. Well folks, there you have it, our best laid attempts at bringing you cold hard facts that shine a little light on the mystery that is Kim Jong-un and his personal life. Which of these excite you the most, or amazed you? The toilet in the car was a bit much for us, but when it comes to the safety of world leaders, apparently there are no lines that can't be crossed. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And leave us a like if you enjoyed the contents of this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more from us.